Hi everyone, today, we're going to take a look at the 5 best oil-based primer for wood on the market for this year. First, we're going to show you our 5 best picks, then we'll talk about what you should look for before buying a best oil-based primer for wood. You can find timestamps and links to all the products we mentioned in this video down in the description below. Let's get started. Oil primer is the main choice of professionals when it comes to a paint job. It is glossy, has a beautiful finish, and is durable underneath the paint. Still, with so many products out there, it is quite difficult to find the best oil primer for your project. Whether interior or exterior, you need to prepare both wooden surfaces as per their needs. Having dabbled into numerous painting projects and research, I can recommend some of the best oil-based primer for wood. Therefore, you'll not have to do any of the legwork yourself, at least when it comes to research. Best oil-based primer reviews, updated list. As a professional painter, we have tested and listed the best oil-based primer you can trust to perfect your project. Number 1. Zinsser 02004 Oil-Based Primer for Wood. The RustOleum Zinsser Bullseye 123 primer comes with the normal performance of an oil-based primer, even though it has a slightly different formula. This rust protection product offers great coverage, a gallon of it having the ability to go over 400 square feet. It is the perfect choice for wood, but can also be applied to painted metals and other different surfaces. Compared to the Zinsser cover stain, this oil-based primer comes at a lower price, without compromising quality. It can also clean up nicely using only soap and water. Cover stain also cleans, but not as easily. It also needs a few coats to work perfectly. The Bullseye 123 primer from RustOleum is also a great primer sealer. It prevents mold and mildew on wood, at the same time keeping rust off metal surfaces. Pros: affordable price, resists rust and mildew formation, excellent stain covering performance, works on both interior and exterior surfaces. CON. It may require a second coat of primer. Number 2. RustOleum 75828838 Oil-Based Primer for Wood. Spray painting wood is a fast option to get work done quickly, and the RustOleum Professional Gray Primer Spray Paint is proof. It's much more affordable compared to the Zinsser cover stain and the RustOleum Bullseye 123. Moreover, you will not have to go through any bothersome brush painting projects. This will help you get the exterior projects done much faster. Unlike the products mentioned above, this spray primers covers only about 14 square feet. However, it's the perfect choice if you have a smaller project or touch-ups to do. It also dries in 15 minutes, making it quick to work with. RustOleum may be applied in a spray form, but is a great sealer. It protects the surface from weather elements, making it a good interior and exterior primer. Pros: perfect for smaller projects or touch-ups, great coverage, excellent sealing properties. Cons: covers only 14 square feet. Number 3. INSLX PS800009A01 Oil-Based Primer for Wood. Glossy surfaces need a specific primer formula for the paint to adhere, which makes this INSLX product such a suitable choice. While it is slightly pricier compared to the RustOleum Bullseye or even the Zinsser cover stain, it makes everything up in quality. This affordable primer paint adheres swiftly, and it also takes a short time to dry. In just 1 hour, you should be able to follow up with the paint. The stain-blocking properties are also excellent, and it also leaves a beautiful flat finish. The INSLX Prime Lock is the perfect choice for those who want to get rid of the glossy finish and go matte. Pros: excellent adhesion to glossy surface, it leaves a beautiful matte finish, it dries quickly. Cons: you may need to apply more coats. Number 4. KILZ 10902 Oil-Based Primer for Wood. Stains are often very difficult to cover, and this is made even more complicated by the surface at hand. With that in mind, the KILZ Original Multi-Surface Stain Removing Primer can come quite in handy. Like the cover stain and the other products mentioned above, this product can be used on any kind of surface as it blocks stains perfectly. However, keep in mind that it is an interior oil primer, which means that it cannot withstand very harsh weather. It is advisable to use it on the interior surface. This can be seen as an advantage as well. Since it is meant for indoor use, it does not have the harsh smell often associated with oil-based primers. It's still a bit stronger compared to the water-based type, but it is not as nauseating. Pros: excellent adhesion, fast drying time, impressive stain blocking properties. It can also block smells aside from stains. Cons: interior oil primer that can't be used outdoors. Number 5. KILZ10942 oil-based primer for wood. Odor is very often a problem, which is why the KILZ Original series includes this versatile, low-odor primer sealer. It is a perfect choice if you have a room or an office to paint, but you do not have strong ventilation. It is an interior primer, which means that just like the KILZ Original multi-surface, it cannot be used outdoors. The primer is very durable and is the perfect choice to be followed up by oil-based paint. That being said, make sure you sand and clean the area properly. 1 gallon of this product can cover as much as 300 square feet, and it only takes about 30 minutes to dry. Plus, it has quite a rich formula that might not need a second coat, depending on the base, making it one of the best oil-based primer for wood. Pros: very low odor levels. It dries quickly to the touch. Excellent stain blocking properties. Cons: it may only be used on interior surfaces. Benefits of using an oil-based primer. Each dedicated primer type has its own benefits, but there are certain perks that come with using an oil-based primer. Oil paint primer are the perfect option for wood surfaces, as it won't be so easily absorbed by the porous surface. Here is what the oil paints will do for you. Fill into the small pores and imperfections so that you get a smooth, even finish. Coat wood surfaces so that you won't have to use as much paint afterward. Prevents mold or mildew from growing on the wood surfaces. Helps paint dry faster. Seals the exterior wood effortlessly and protects it against harsh weather. Oil-based primers act as a good base, and they are often more durable as compared to water-based primers. Tips for applying oil-based primers. Applying oil-based primer can make every surface look flawless, particularly if you apply it right. To make sure your paint job looks the best, here are some application tips that you might want to consider. Stir the primer before you use it. If it sat on the shelf for a long time, the oil might have separated from the rest of the formula. You need to mix them completely. Pour everything into another container. This way, not only will you further stir the formula, but you will also be able to keep the dirt out. If you feel like the primer is much too thick, don't use water to thin it out. Instead, add some mineral spirits or paint thinner in the mix. Don't use a low-quality brush to apply the primer. Not only do you risk it shedding along the way, but it may also leave brush marks on the painted surfaces. Don't paint over wet surfaces. Allow them to dry first. If you're unsure, a primer can prove very efficient, but you need to use it correctly. Make sure that you use the right protective gear. If it has high VOC levels, you might want to use a mask as you are painting. What kind of primer should I use over oil-based paint? If you previously painted with a latex paint, you may easily follow with any kind of primer over it. For more info, check out the Latex Paint over Oil Primer Guide. However, if your previous paint job was an oil-based one, then you should only use an oil-based primer sealer. These primers have higher bonding properties, which means the chances of chipping or peeling as they cure are lower. The only instance when you may use a latex bonding primer is if you are self-priming paints over a matte surface. What is the best oil-based primer for wood? If you are looking for a good oil primer to finish a paint job, then by efficiency and popular opinion, the Zinsser Cover Stain is the best choice. Still, for those on a budget, the RustOleum Bullseye 123 should also prove efficient. Think about the surfaces that you will have to paint when you are looking for the best oil primer. Once you calculate all the factors, you should be able to choose the best option for your needs.